Hello you lovely theatrical bunch, and welcome back to a brand new video here on my channel. Now today's video is going to be a little bit mismatched, a little bit all over the place, just because I filmed a bunch of clips and none of them really match up in a coherent vlog, so I thought I would guide you through them by cutting back to me here in my bedroom present day, whilst also sending you back to some of the vlog pieces that were taken about 2-3 weeks ago now, which is very exciting. But I'm hoping I'm able to piece them together in what is an enjoyable video for you guys, so let's get into this. So as the title kind of gives away, this will be about my time I spent on a 10-night cruise on the Disney Dream. Now you're probably sat there going, Flora, what on earth has cruising got to do with theatre? We come here for theatre content, not, you know, ship life. So don't worry, I promise you they are related. To me, cruising and theatre go hand in hand, hence why I decided to talk to you guys about it today. Not only does Disney put a whole lot of work into ensuring that your entire cruise feels like a work of art, they also promise to deliver 3 Broadway caliber performances on every cruise. And not only are there 3 Broadway caliber shows, there is a handful of other variety acts which can range from Broadway performers to other musical acts, which will absolutely blow your mind away. So I'm about to throw you over to Flora of the past, who picked up her vlog camera and admittedly forgot to keep picking it up throughout the duration of her cruise, as she got ready to set sail on the wonderful Disney Dream. Okay, so we are about to get on, which is super exciting. As you can see, I am vlogging both my reaction and this. So very exciting. Still the best view of me. Hello. Perfect. Hello. Nope. The Edward family. Edward. Yeah. We are the Edward family. We are on. Look at this. Now, the first of the shows on the Disney Dream is the Sail Away Party. Now, unfortunately, due to the slightly unpleasant Southampton weather, we didn't get to enjoy this out on the deck in the glorious sunshine like you might if you were sailing in the Caribbean, but Disney took all the stops out as they put the show on in the atrium for us instead. They had everybody up and dancing, all of the characters were there, everyone was singing and enjoying their time, and in my opinion, it is honestly the best way to start off a cruise. 4, 3, 2, 1. What's fascinating about this 3-story atrium is all of the lights and the speakers are rigged very similar to what you might see in a theatre. They are theatre caliber lights, they are theatre ready speakers, they have a stage manager, a lighting desk, a sound desk, all there just to monitor what is going on for this little 20-minute show, which I find fascinating. But further to that, I don't know if you can pick it up in the videos, but these lighting rigs actually retract back up into the ceiling, so when there's not a show about to happen, you'd never know they were there, and I honestly love it. I think it makes it a work of art. But I know that the Sail Away Party isn't quite the theatre you guys had in mind, so it's now time to head on over to the Walt Disney Theatre for the first of our 3 Broadway caliber shows, and that was going to be the Golden Mickeys. We are about to go and see, I don't know if you can guess it, the Golden Mickeys. Now, I can't really film inside the theatre, but for you guys, I will. It is also formal night, which is lovely, which means we get to actually dress up for the theatre in a way that people never do. Dressing up for the theatre is very much a thing of the past, sadly, so I am in my fancy frock today and about to enjoy a show. It is the Walt Disney Theatre, guys. Look how fabulous it looks. Now, I am in my favourite seat in this theatre, and that is for a very special reason. As a fan of all things technical at the theatre, what better place to sit?
Event of the season, the Golden Mickey!
Yeah.
Join us, heroes, favorite princesses, and yes, even some of your favorite villains come together to celebrate.
Guys, how gorgeous is this theatre? Look at the ceiling. It is Disney to the max. I will let you know how it all goes when it's over. Now, I myself have seen the Golden Mickeys on a number of occasions. It is a show that happens on the majority of the Disney cruise ships. Now, each show, from what I can remember, is slightly different, and I will say this is probably the most disappointed I have been in the Golden Mickeys out of all of the times I have seen it in the past. Whilst I did appreciate that there were a number of songs like Out There from Hunchback of Notre Dame, and Strangers Like Me from Tarzan, which maybe don't get the recognition that they should, were performed. I did really enjoy that. There were other moments that I didn't love so much, particularly how screen heavy the show was compared to when I last saw it. There was a lot of use of 2 projector screens either side to have characters come and perform when you're really just watching an animated segment. There were also a few mishaps, including Rapunzel not appearing where she was supposed to, so we were just watching a lit stool sing supposedly for a minute. It was a little bit awkward. But that aside, they did some really great stuff with costumes. The Cruella de Vil number blew me away. It was like this sort of jazzy 1920s Cruella. She had 4 men in polka dot like suits dancing. It was amazing. She had a car. The performer was phenomenal. I really did enjoy that. So I'm going to give this show a 4.5 out of 10. Now this may seem very harsh, especially because we all know what Disney is capable of producing, but compared to some of the other shows I saw on this ship, this wasn't quite up to par. But that didn't exactly matter, because all of our disappointment at the Golden Mickeys was washed away when we saw what was waiting for us when we got back to our cabin. And that was an invitation to a very special event that will be happening the next day. Now this event was a behind the scenes look at the headline show for this cruise, and that was Beauty and the Beast. Now I have seen Beauty and the Beast before, but this backstage look at it made me appreciate it all the more. We got to see things like a full run through of Be Our Guest with the house lights on, with cues being called over the comm systems by the stage management team. We also got to see live stream camera feeds from the wings, as well as what was happening under the set, under the stage, even with the lifts that would be going up and down with various bits of set on. It was fascinating. You know I love technical theatre, and so to get to witness this, especially when Disney is so secretive when it comes to pulling back that curtain on how they work their magic, it was a real treat. Now, unfortunately, this talk isn't something available to everybody. You had to be Gold Castaway Club members or above. Likewise, it is usually only offered on transatlantic cruises. So, given that we weren't on a transatlantic cruise, this was very special for us to get to witness, which I did really appreciate. Likewise, I really enjoyed that they got various members of the technical teams on stage to talk about what they do, such as the stage manager. We also had some of the stage crew, the lighting guys, the costumers. It was all fantastic to hear, you know, just what went into their role every day to ensure that these shows went off without a hitch. This peek behind the curtain did definitely give me a greater appreciation for Beauty and the Beast when we were watching in a few nights' time. But in the time between this sneak peek behind the scenes and actually getting to see the show, I had a very exciting opportunity, and that was to interview a group of guys called the Rollerboys. Now, this was very exciting for me because it was my first sort of proper interview, if you will, even though I don't know how proper something can be if it was filmed hastily in a corridor. But I'd firstly like to say a huge thank you to the Rollerboys for giving me this opportunity. It was an absolute pleasure talking to them. They were all lovely. And to just get to hear a little bit more about them, their time in theatre, and what it's like performing on a cruise ship was fantastic. So do forgive me if this feels a little bit last minute and rushed. Like I said, it was my first interview. I was nervous. I didn't really know what I was doing, but hopefully it has all come together for you. Likewise, the sound might not be the best due to the fact it was filmed in a corridor. Believe it or not, it is quite hard to find somewhere quiet on a Disney cruise ship, but there you are. So without further ado, I will throw you over to the interview. So I am here with the Rollerboys, so if you guys want to introduce yourselves briefly so everyone knows who you are, what you do.
I'm Michael.
My name's Kieran.
I'm Jason.
Hey guys, I'm Cyrus.
Wonderful, and they are performing a show tonight at the Walt Disney Theatre for us all here on the Disney Dream, which is very exciting, but I have a few questions prepared, and I was hoping these guys can answer them for us.
Yeah.
So the biggest one being, obviously, we are on a cruise ship. I know you guys perform on land as well, so how was that sort of challenge? Do you find the boat, well, the ship, I guess, moves a lot, or do you kind of, is it just the same?
For me, the hardest bit is when we're standing still, especially on the stage. If there's any cracks, as soon as you stand still, that's when you can find your way. But as soon as we're moving around, it's a lot easier because we're used to weight bearing anyway. That's just me. I don't know about you.
My hardest thing is I fall in love with the buffet. So I eat ribs, wings, everything. So by the time I get to showtime, I'm bloated. That's my hardest thing.
Yeah, kind of the same as Kieran really. I mean, we're already obviously on skates, so talked it into myself last night. I was like, oh, we're on skates, so I'll probably be fine. But there was a couple of moments where the shit went like that. I was like, like, even though we were on skates, because we were still, I still kind of went a bit.
Yeah, I slept with my life jacket on.
Just to be sure. Fascinating. I can't roller skate, so I want to know out of all of you guys who took the longest to learn how to roller skate and sing at the same time.
Probably me, because they were all like real naturals at skating. I don't know, I don't speak for you guys, but like all three of them have got more of a dance background. So I think being I trained as a dancer, but having a less of a dance background, I think I struggled a little bit. But I've been doing it for years and years and years now, and they still correct me every day. So,
I mean, it's you have 3 months of skate school, Monday to Saturday, 9 till 5. Then obviously after you've done that process, you then go into the show for a year, and that whole time I'd say you're learning and improving. We're at a stage now where it feels quite normal to be on there, and then when you throw learning German into the mix as well, that was
and we were taught by a man called Michael Fraley, who's like he's sort of like the Yoda of roller skating. He's kind of taught everybody who's ever been in Starlight Express, so that was pretty special, learning from him.
Well, yeah, quick for the people at home, that's how these guys all met, was doing Starlight Express, just in case you didn't pick up on the t-shirt and some of the context clues. I think we're going to move on to sort of Disney things. I mentioned earlier, Paris, you weren't there, but I thought Cars the Musical should be a thing in the vein of Starlight Express with the roller skates.
They've got it in Disney on Ice.
Yeah.
Good idea.
And I've not seen that yet. High School Musical on Ice was my last Disney on Ice.
Shotgun Jackson Storm.
Oh, that'd be a good one.
I'd like to meet Mater, the old one, rusty one.
Rusty.
I've forgotten that.
You're not
Lightning
seeing it,
McQueen,
have
I'll be Lightning McQueen.
Okay, yeah, I'll be the other one.
you? Kieran's never seen Cars, none of them. Terrible Disney fan.
So it's my favourite Cars movie? Favourite Disney movie?
Well, I'll watch it for when you cast it, and then I'll.
Oh, definitely, yeah. I'm going to be emailing Disney theatrics now, just like, hey guys, I've got a great idea.
Okay.
But yeah, the question was, if you could bring any Disney show to the stage, what would it be? Any movie, TV show, anything?
Mine's happening. It's about to happen in Germany. It would be Hercules.
Yeah.
I'm very, very excited about that. It's my favourite Disney music.
Yeah, it's a fantastic show.
Nice general answer for everyone.
Yeah, I think I would have
I'm
done
trying to think about what is
must have
music.
one.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen mine. It was Tarzan. I saw it in Germany, and it was amazing. You enjoyed it, didn't you?
Yeah.
With all the like coming from the ceiling and the bungee cords and swinging from one side to the
Germany
other.
gets a lot of really good stuff.
Yeah, it was fantastic, and I got to like go on the set, and the floor was like proper spongy and stuff.
Yeah.
They were great. And I love the Phil Collins music in that as well. So.
Kieran's got one.
I know it's got to be Toy Story.
Yeah.
Just for Buzz Lightyear.
Have you ever, it's on YouTube, there is a Toy Story musical and it was on the Disney Wonder.
Oh, they're an actual
Really?
music.
Yeah, they
Okay.
wrote it for the creation.
Wow,
Yeah,
very
so
cool.
it's definitely an interesting one. But yeah, and then
I was going to say Toy Story, but
Sorry, I read that. We'll do
I actually don't know. Toy
It's
Story would be
very-
crazy.
I think Moana's got to happen, right? At
Yeah,
some point.
Yeah.
definitely. It's really popular as well. They all had different coloured light up roller skates. Was there an argument as to who got what colour, or was it just like...
He's in charge, so Jason's in charge. He does all our wheels and
I'm like the skating.
like Bernie too, aren't you?
Is there arguments? No.
We've swapped colours loads of times, haven't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, not really.
In the show, in Starlight Express, Electra always gets the red wheels, so I was a little bit like, yes, when I got the red wheels. I'm very happy about that. Not that I'd ever be Electra, but
Sometimes when the light runs out eventually, we'll always have a little swap around.
Nice.
So yeah, I'm waiting for my next colour. Brown.
that was a voiceover.
It's Carly.
Well, very deep into the dreams.
So we're going to move on to just sort of like general musicals now. Obviously, as I said, you guys all met with Starlight Express, but what was probably like, of all of the musicals you guys have been in, what's your favourite and why?
I know what yours is, I think.
I mean, it's a jukebox musical, so it's not obviously a musical in the obvious sense, but I was in the Michael Jackson musical Thriller Live when we did the lean in Smooth Criminal, so that was one of my excitable moments of doing the show, and then the audience reaction was always like,
I can
I
imagine.
don't know how it's done, and it's like, so yeah, that was quite a highlight.
My favourite was Jesus Christ Superstar, with the Regent's Park version.
And he was in it.
Oh, I thought it was in.
Yeah. Oh, right.
Yes, I wish I was in. It was actually mental. Yes, Jesus died. It was crazy. There was a lot of blood and there was a lot of glitter. And it was very strange. It was absolutely the most amazing vocally and just wild show I've ever done in my life. It was great.
Yeah, sounds
I
brilliant.
think mine, for a point I was at, was I did West Side Story in Ireland in Cork, and I was like only in third year in college, so that was like my first ever job. And it was just because they took a couple of people from my college. We all went there and we got to live together, perform together. And I'd seen the show actually when Jason was in it. I was a little boy, so showing your age. And that was the first time I saw it, and I always wanted to do it. And yeah, I managed to do it.
I got two. Number one, definitely Starlight Express, because I was always like massive fan of Starlight. And I was really fortunate to play Gaston in Beauty and the Beast. Did that for like 2 years, amazing show. Yeah, there you go.
He looks like Gaston.
So obviously when you're in a musical, you are performing as a character, but with your Rollerboys show, you're performing as yourselves and you're performing out to the audience in a way you maybe don't in a musical. How have you found that? Is it more daunting maybe, or is it more comfortable in a way because you have to remember lines?
We're really lucky because not only we're the best of friends, we've got so much inside banter that goes on that sometimes a little bit over the line, but the audience, we try to include the audience with it as well, but I think they see that from us, and hopefully it makes us come across quite natural with what we do on stage. We have like a script, but we never really stick to it, do we?
And I think that on stage chemistry actually carries out to the audience, so they like to see that. But going to the character thing, I think when you start in a cast where you don't really know the people you're performing with, I find it more exposing being me than if I've got like a big espresso engine costume on where I'm pretending to be Italian, and it's like, you know what I mean? I think I find that easier because there's a book on it, like you're like, right, you're Italian, you know, whereas when it's yourself like, oh, can I do this? Can I do this? So I think playing a character for me is easier than doing this.
Yeah, I mean for me it's just it's a lot more fun, as in, you know, like if you say something wrong, or if I say something wrong or trip up on something, he's probably going to make a joke about it, and then it's fine because then it's funny. Whereas if I was a character, you can't do that because it could mess up a story, you know. Whereas like Michael said with the script, even though it's a script, there's like a looseness to it where you can show yourself through it. Yeah.
Our show is never the same. The materials are the same, but between the four of us, it always changes, which is kind of nice because it keeps us on our feet and it's fresh, and hopefully, well, we get amazing reactions from the audience.
To keep people coming back because every show is different.
Yeah.
It's great. But well, thank you for answering my questions. Thank you for doing this a bit impromptu in the hallway of a Disney ship.
You're welcome.
But where can the people at home find you if they're interested in learning a little bit more about you?
On all social medias, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Tinder. No, not Tinder. Yeah, at the Rollerboys.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
So much.
Thank you.
So-
Sunshine in my pocket, got that soul in my feet, and that hot love in my pocket, really touch. Ooh, I can't take my eyes off of it, moving so phenomenally. I like to baby rock it, we don't stop. Under the lights where everything goes, nowhere to hide when you're getting too close. When you move, yeah, you're already gone. So just imagine, just imagine, just imagine. Let's go. Nothing I can see but you when you dance, dance, dance. Creeping up on you, so just dance, dance, dance. Come on, all those things are shifting through. Dance, dance, dance. Oh, ain't nobody giving shit, so keep dancing.
Okay, so hopefully you learnt something exciting. I certainly did, particularly about Starlight Express, which you may or may not know is the one Andrew Lloyd Webber show that I don't absolutely detest. They were fascinating people to get to know, and yeah, just again, genuinely so grateful for having the opportunity to interview them, especially when I wasn't expecting it. It was a nice little extra theatrical treat on my cruise. I also obviously included that little clip of them performing at the end. I don't think I was technically supposed to film it for you, but I won't tell anyone if you don't. So I hope you enjoyed that. But after the Rollerboys, it was the moment I'm sure you guys are all waiting for. It was the show I was waiting for. It was Beauty and the Beast. And oh, chef's kiss. The cast was wonderful. And having learned everything I did at the behind the scenes talk, it just made me love the show even more.
Okay, we are in the Walt Disney Theatre for Beauty and the Beast tonight, and I am very excited. Let me show you around the theatre really quickly. Now, some super exciting things to point out. The lights over here have been turned off and we have a little flame animation going on. They've also decorated the sides of the proscenium arch to bring the stage further forward, which is really neat. And if you listen, you can hear it over the audience chatter. There is crickets and then like a lullaby, jewelry box lullaby playing in the background. I've seen it before and it is fantastic, so I will update you when it's over.
Now, this isn't really the West End or Broadway version of Beauty and the Beast. It is very much the staged version of the live action movie. And I thought that made for such great costuming, and the puppet, oh my god guys, the puppets for Cogsworth, Lumiere and Mrs. Potts and Plumette, I nearly said Babette because that's what she's called in the original, but Plumette, the feather duster that's in love with Lumiere, they were amazingly intricate, and to see them up close and working in that way was amazing. The reason they went with the stage version of the live action is because this is a condensed version of the musical. It's not a full 2 hours and 40 minutes. It was roughly 90 minutes long, but honestly amazing. It was actually longer than when I saw it the first time because they'd added in Kill the Beast. Is that the name of the song? Oh, it's called the Mob Song, isn't it? They'd added back in the Mob Song, because I remember when I saw it originally back in 2018, I was disappointed that Gaston's second song had been cut, because Gaston is my favourite Disney villain. Who knows why? But yeah, no, absolutely fantastic. I don't really have much more to say on Beauty and the Beast other than that, because if you've seen the live action, you've kind of seen the staged version. Like, they're almost identical. The costuming is gorgeous. The use of the dynamic set. The set incorporates a lot of screens, but not in a way that feels tacky. The puppets. Oh, everything. Just, it came together. I'm giving it a solid 9 out of 10. You know, no. I'm giving it a solid 8.5 out of 10. Because it was so good. Like, phenomenal. And then after Beauty and the Beast, we had one more Broadway caliber show, and that was going to be Disney's Believe. Now, unlike the Golden Mickeys, which is kind of a review show, this is a musical that has been written specifically for the Disney cruise, specifically for the Disney Dream. And it is the story of a father who doesn't believe in magic but stumbles across a genie's lamp, and his wish is to believe in magic for the sake of his little daughter. And it's really touching, really heartwarming, and it has some amazing moments. The genie was phenomenal. All of his jokes were really witty. If you have seen Aladdin on Broadway or the West End, you will know that the genie as a character keeps everything up to date, really current, really funny. There was a lot of jokes about the cruise and all of that, which I appreciated, as it was our last proper show. It was our last... Was it our last night in the theatre? I don't know. That's probably a lie. I don't think it was the last night, but I've said it now. But it was really good. The original songs, which it did have, believe it or not, it wasn't just Disney music, although there was a lot of Disney music featured. The original songs were really good. That's What Makes the Garden Grow and the Magic Spell song, I don't know if those are their official names, but there you have it. Were really good. The cast, again, phenomenal. Now, when I keep saying the cast were phenomenal, it's the same cast for all 3 shows. It's the same company of people. They all might just be doing different things. There's a lot of multi-rolling going on. I imagine a lot of quick changes. A lot of dodgy wigs. Aladdin was rocking the Justin Bieber 2004 looking haircut, which I honestly applaud him for, but I think he might want to ask the genie to undo that, because it was a bit of a mistake. But it was very fun. Gave me a good giggle. There was bubble machines going. We also had confetti. There was sparklers on the stage, special effects. Merlin made an appearance, which I loved. I think Merlin is an amazing character that, again, doesn't get maybe enough love. So all in all, Disney's Believe was amazing. I didn't get as teary-eyed as some people around me were. I don't know whether I just wasn't in the mood. But it was ultimately really good. Again, I'm going to give that, I think, probably a 7 out of 10, purely because when they say it's Broadway caliber, I can't ever see that going on Broadway, but all of the special effects and the effort the cast were putting in and the set and how dynamic that was really, really good. There was even some flying at one point, which when you're on a moving cruise ship, guys, like, it's not an easy feat, so I do appreciate that. But that just about wraps it up. Oh, one more thing. We had a world first of the new Mickey's Colour Spin dance party. It was a world first. They'd never shown it to anyone before. And it was really quite fun. We got a Max Goof appearance. We got to see Max and Goofy do the perfect cast, which was amazing. Like, Goofy movie is one of my favourite Disney movies, which I think was phenomenal. The music was fun. It was a little bit short in my opinion, and I think it was a shame because we had some really bad weather, so we were kind of stood in the cold and the rain. But we made it work, and it was really fun, and it was just another little show that I really appreciated that the crews putting on when they didn't have to, because I think a Disney cruise, honestly, is the perfect thing for a theatre person, because you don't get theatre withdrawals at all. You can be away for 2 weeks on a Disney cruise and still feel perfectly like you are in the musical theatre world, which I love. But there you have it. I know it was a bit of an all over the place video, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. And as always, if you did enjoy it and you like theatre just as much as me, make sure you are subscribed and you like this video for more, because there is always new videos on the way. I have a video about going behind the scenes at Moulin Rouge coming up. I also have a video potentially about Bad Cinderella, because I have things I want to say, even though I know the whole of YouTube has talked the topic to death. So if that sounds interesting to you, like I said, make sure you are subscribed. And until next time, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Bye!